Hello everyone, I am Dr. Shalini Maksane, Assistant Professor in Department of Biochemistry, St. GS Medical College and KM Hospital, Mumbai. Today we are going to discuss fat-soluble vitamin E. Specific learning objectives of today's session are that the learner should be able to explain vitamin E with respect to its dietary sources, recommended dietary allowance, biochemical functions, deficiency manifestations and toxicity. Vitamin E is a nutritional term used for the group of 8 naturally occurring tocopherols and tocotrienols that have biological activity. Alpha tocopherol is the most active form of vitamin E. Vitamin E is viscous fluid at room temperature. It is the most potent biological antioxidant present in cell membranes and circulating lipoproteins. Initial studies of induced vitamin E deficiency in laboratory animals resulted in infertility. Therefore, the vitamin E is also known as anti-infertility vitamin. Now, vitamin E chemistry. Chemically, vitamin E have a chromin ring that is also called tocool ring. To this tocool ring, a polyisoprenyl side chain is attached at carbon number 2. So tocopherol and tocotrienol both have a chromin ring, but they differ in the structure of side chain. Tocopherol have a aliphatic side chain at carbon number 2, while tocotrienol have a polyisoprenyl side chain which have 3 double bonds at carbon number 3, 7 and 11. Both tocopherols and tocotrienols are of 4 types: alpha, beta, gamma and delta. Alpha, beta, gamma and delta form differ for the presence of methyl group at carbon number 5 and 7 in chromin ring. The most active form of vitamin E is alpha tocopherol, while gamma tocopherol is most abundantly present in diet. Alpha tocopherol is a potent scavenger of reactive oxygen species, while gamma tocopherol is a potent scavenger of reactive nitrogen species. Now this is the structure of alpha tocopherol, which is the most active form of vitamin E. Chemically it is known as 5,7,8-trimethyl-tocol. The antioxidant property of alpha tocopherol is because of the hydroxy group attached to this tocol ring. Now a metabolism of vitamin E. Vitamin E present in diet is non-selectively absorbed in small intestine with the help of bile. In intestinal cell, vitamin E combined with chylomicron, then chylomicron is secreted into lymphatic vessel. From lymphatic vessel, the chylomicron goes into the liver. Before reaching to liver, it delivers vitamin E to various peripheral tissues with the help of enzyme lipoprotein lipase. So some of the vitamin E is distributed by chylomicron before it reaches to liver. After reaching to liver, the remaining vitamin E is again sent into circulation attached to VLDL, very low density lipoprotein. Then this VLDL again distribute vitamin E to various peripheral tissues most of the most of the tissues have vitamin E, and it is stored mainly in adipose tissue and liver and muscle. In this diagram, you can see that the dietary vitamin E absorbed in the intestine. From intestine, it is attached to chylomicron. Chylomicron delivers some of vitamin E to adipose tissue and other tissues, and then it is converted into chylomicron remnant, which goes into the liver. In liver, there is one protein called tocopherol transfer protein, which is in red color. This protein binds to alpha tocopherol, and this tocopherol transfer protein transfer vitamin E to VLDL. So this alpha tocopherol transfer protein is specific. It specifically binds to only alpha tocopherol effectively. It doesn't bind effectively to other form of vitamin E, which are synthetic form of vitamin E or tocotrienols. That is why the most potent form of vitamin E is alpha tocopherol, because this tocopherol transfer protein binds effectively with only natural alpha tocopherol. Once it binds with tocopherol, it transfer vitamin E to VLDL. Then VLDL again transport vitamin E to various tissues like adipose tissue and other tissues where it is stored and utilized. Vitamin E, some of vitamin E is excreted in bile, and then it is excreted in feces via bile, and some part of vitamin E is converted into tocopherolic acid, and some part is conjugated with glucuronide, and tocopherolic acid and beta glucuronide conjugate of vitamin E are excreted in urine, and vitamin E thus excreted via bile and urine. So what is important to note here, that the recommended dietary allowance of vitamin E should be met only by alpha tocopherol. Functions of vitamin E. Vitamin E is a potent antioxidant. It prevents non-enzymatic oxidation of cell membrane components such as polyunsaturated fatty acids by molecular oxygen and free radicals. In cell membrane, there are polyunsaturated fatty acids which have various double bonds, which are the cleavage site for free radicals to generate free radical chain reaction. Vitamin E prevents free radical generation by inhibiting free radical chain reaction. It also, by preventing free radical chain reaction, it protects cell membrane against lipid peroxidation, thus it maintains cell integrity. In RBCs, it prevents RBCs from hemolysis by maintaining the integrity of cell membrane. In muscles, it maintains muscle function, and in nerve, it maintains neurological function, and in retina, it maintains retinal function by preventing the damage to membrane of these cells. It also stabilizes ubiquinone, which is important for generation of ATP in electron transport chain. It is in anti-infertility vitamin, which I have already mentioned. It also prevents oxidation of LDL. Thus, it prevents cardiovascular risk, because oxidized LDL is atherogenic in nature, and it can cause atherosclerosis. It is also anti-aging vitamin because it prevents generation of free radicals or toxic component which can cause aging. This slide explains the role of vitamin E as a chain-breaking antioxidant. Free radicals are continuously generated due to incomplete oxidation reaction in living system. They can also be induced by external factors. Lipid peroxidation occur mainly in polyunsaturated fatty acid present on cell membrane. When a free radical react with normal compound, it creates another free radical, that is called free radical chain reaction. Here in this slide you can see that one peroxyl radical react with normal polyunsaturated fatty acid and generate a new free radical. So this is called free radical chain reaction. Vitamin E react with peroxyl radical, and it form a tocopherol radical. It react with vitamin E react with peroxyl radical faster than that free radical will react with normal polyunsaturated fatty acid or protein present in membrane. So it act faster on peroxyl radical, so that peroxyl radical is converted into lipid hydroperoxide, inactive compound, and vitamin E itself get converted into tocopherol radical, but that is less reactive compared to peroxyl radical. So our system has some time to react with this free radical. Now tocopherol radical react with ascorbic acid to form ascorbate free radical, and vitamin E itself get converted into normal vitamin E. Now ascorbate free radical react with another ascorbate radical to generate an inactive compound, that is called dehydroascorbate. So this is how vitamin E prevent generation of new free radical. One interesting fact about vitamin E is that at higher doses, vitamin E acts as a pro-oxidant instead of antioxidant. As I have mentioned in earlier slide that tocopheroxyl radical is more stable compared to other free radical, means it can survive for more time. So if it is not inactivated by ascorbic acid or other compound, it can go into the cytosol and there it can propagate the chain reaction of lipid peroxidation. This is the reason that in high doses of vitamin E are not as effective as antioxidant, but they can propagate the peroxidation reaction significantly. In various research studies also, the effect of high doses of vitamin E have been disappointing. Means vitamin E should be given in optimum amount as per the RDA. It should not be given in higher concentration, because at higher concentration it can act as a pro-oxidant. Now, interrelationship of vitamin E with selenium. Selenium is present in glutathione peroxidase, which is an important enzyme that oxidizes and destroys free radicals. Glutathione is present in cytoplasmic compartment of cell. There it acts as a, with the help of enzyme glutathione peroxidase, it helps in the scavengation of free radicals. Selenium has been found to decrease the requirement of vitamin E, and vitamin E decrease the requirement of selenium. They act as synergistically to minimize lipid peroxidation. Deficiency manifestations of vitamin E. In normal human being, deficiency of vitamin E is rare because vitamin E is present in adequate level in average diet also. So vitamin E deficiency is observed only when there is some associated disease condition like fat malabsorption, in conditions of cystic fibrosis, cholestasis, etc. It can occur in premature infants because in premature infants there is less adipose tissue, so there is less stored vitamin E. In A beta lipoproteinemia, there because of deficiency of lipoproteins, there is no distribution of vitamin E to various tissues, or in chronic liver diseases where there is defective transport of vitamin E. It can occur in mutation in gene which form tocopherol transfer protein. So if there is no tocopherol transfer protein, there will be no transport of vitamin E. Deficiency of vitamin E can cause irritability and edema. In experimental animals, the vitamin E deficiency has been found to cause fetal resorption and testicular atrophy. Thus, it has found to be cause infertility. It can cause hemolytic anemia because of oxidative damage of red cell membrane, and it is found to cause peripheral neuropathy and myopathy because of damage to nerve cell and muscle cell membrane. It can cause poor nerve conduction, spinocerebellar ataxia and retinopathy. The all effect of vitamin E is because of the loss of its function of chain as a chain breaking antioxidant. Now, recommended dietary allowance of vitamin E is 10 mg per day in men. In women, it is 8 mg per day. The requirement increases in pregnancy and lactation to 10 and 12 mg per day respectively. If we are taking more polyunsaturated fatty acid in our diet, the requirement of vitamin E also increases. Reference interval of vitamin E in premature neonates is 0.1 to 0.5 mg per dl. In children, it is 0.3 to 0.9 mg per dl. In adolescents, it is 0.6 to 1 mg per dl, and in adult, the reference interval is 0.5 to 1.8 mg per dl. Dietary sources of vitamin E. Vegetable oils are the principal source of vitamin E. Oils are like wheat germ oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, cottonseed oils, and nuts. They are principal source of vitamin E, while various meat, fruits, vegetables, they contribute very little vitamin E to the diet. Important point to note is that fish liver oil is devoid of vitamin E. Vitamin E toxicity. Out of 4 fat-soluble vitamin, vitamin E is the least toxic fat-soluble vitamin. Excess vitamin E intake is usually only achieved by dietary supplementation. High intake of fruits or vegetable never causes vitamin E toxicity. If the doses of more than 1000 mg per day are taken, then only it can cause vitamin E toxicity. High doses of vitamin E causes deficiency of other fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D and K by competitive absorption. They compete for absorption, and high doses of vitamin E decrease the absorption of vitamin D and K. High doses of vitamin E can cause tendency of hemorrhage because it is a mild anticoagulant, and as we have discussed earlier that at higher doses vitamin E is a pro-oxidant. So it causes lipid peroxidation of RBC membrane and can cause hemolysis. Thanks for watching this video.